Hi guys, RF Hampa here, and today I wanted to talk about SMART goals. Not just SMART goals, but actually making those goals actionable by building in systems and processes. I'll explain. But first of all, let's go over the basics. What are SMART goals? SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, those are the 5 things. Now, specific, make sure that you don't just say, I want to do well at school or I want to earn more money, but actually put a figure to it or put a score to it. Make it specific so that you'll know when you hit the goal. And then the next bit is M for measurable. If you make your goal specific, you can then measure it, right? Because then you can say, how far am I from the goal? How much more do I need to go to get there? So let's go for the example of the young person wanting to buy a laptop. Let's say it costs $500 just for ease of calculation. The person wants to save this amount of money. How do they go about it? They can say specific. So I want to save $500 in order to buy a laptop. Okay. Measurable. Well, you can tell over the months how much you're saving and whether you're going to meet that goal or not. You can also plan to meet that goal. So you might say, actually, I want to buy it in the next 10 months. If you say 10 months, it means you need to be saving at least $50 a month to get there. A is for achievable. Do you have a source of income? If you have a source of income, then it's achievable. If you don't, that's an issue. Are you able to save enough to actually meet that goal? Again, if you can, great. If you can't, that's where there's a bit of a challenge. Okay, so you have to check, is it achievable? And you could also ask yourself, what can I do to make it achievable if it isn't achievable yet? It might be that you need to make some interim goals or interim steps in order to get you to the point where you can reach your final goal, in a sense. Okay, so we've gone SM, A, and now we want relevant. Is the goal of getting a laptop relevant to you? I think it is. Most people need laptops these days to do almost everything. But imagine your goal was to get into medical school, but you didn't actually like studying medicine or you didn't want to be a doctor. Then you'd realize that goal wasn't particularly relevant. It's that sort of thing to just bear in mind. But in this case, this person wants to get a laptop in order to be able to learn to code or learn to make videos like I'm doing now on YouTube. So they need a laptop. Okay, that's fine, it's relevant. Now, time bound is an important one. Set yourself a time. So we've said, okay, we want to save that amount over 10 months, right? So if it's 10 months, okay, then we know we need to be saving. If you divide 500 by 10, you'll get 50. So that's 50 per month. So you've got a deadline of when you want to hit that goal, which is great. Okay, now let's look at the processes and the systems you can put in place in order to get you towards that goal. In terms of systems, you need to be working a job. So if you have part-time work or full-time work, you need to make sure that you're actually doing that work and turning up in order to make sure you get that. So it might be a case of getting onto work at right time, on time, sort of thing. If you do freelance work or part-time work, it's making sure that you've booked all the times ahead so that you can get and do that work where possible. Beyond that, if we're looking at processes, you need to then think of what do I need to do to make sure I actually get to the point of having $600 in my account, which I can use to buy a laptop. Well, first, in terms of process, you can set up a savings account. If you have only one account at the moment, I would recommend you get a second account. And in that second account, every month you transfer money over there. So once you get money paid in, you transfer money into that savings account and you don't touch it. Don't spend that money because you're saving towards the laptop. Very important. And you can put things in place to make it harder to end up spending that money. So for example, you could put it into an account that requires a few days in order to withdraw the money. You could also make yourself accountable to people. So get somebody to ask you every month how you're doing towards your savings goal, towards buying that laptop. If you have that accountability and you know you have to tell somebody what you've done with the money so far that you've saved, then that helps you keep on track. And then also you could actually just set up a direct debit, for example, or a standing order, I think is the better term, where it would transfer the money every month once the money hits your account. Or it might be if you get paid on a regular day, for example, let's say you get paid on the 1st of the month, maybe by the 2nd of the month, make sure that a certain amount goes into your savings account. That way you can save up and build towards it. And then every month you can say, okay, at the beginning of the month, I always check my accounts to see where I am and how far I need to go as well. These are systems and processes you can put in place to help you attain those goals. It's not enough to just have a SMART goal written down and say, oh, I would love to have $600. I'd love to have $1 million. Yes, you've got to break it down so we know how you're going to get there. And it's good to have a time to say, okay, this is what I want to get to, and then build towards that. Timing is an interesting one. There are some goals that I believe need to have a time, and there are some that you should have a time, but hold it as a loose guideline. Let's say, for example, your goal is to make $1 million. Let's say you give yourself 10 years, right? Could be 10 years. It could be that it takes maybe a little bit longer, but that's okay. As long as you have something you're working towards, you can tell that you are moving in the right direction. You can measure the progress you're making. So you can check year on year, how am I doing to get there? And let's say you want to earn $1 million over 10 years, for example. It means that each year you need to be earning 100,000. Okay, then the next question is, okay, how do I earn 100,000? And you make smaller goals to help you work towards the bigger goal, in a sense. So that's my quick talk on setting SMART goals and setting processes and systems to help you achieve and attain those goals. They're very important. Process goals are the goals that you do in the interim to get you to the larger goal. And then you've got your outcome goals, which is the final goal that you are aiming towards. So I'm hoping if this is your case, or maybe you're that person who's saving towards a laptop, I wish you all the best, but keep working at your goals, and I'm sure you'll get there if you put your mind to it and you put all the things in place to get you. And if this video has been useful to you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share it with somebody who might be looking to learn more about SMART goals or learn about how to generally plan and make decisions for their lives, and I think it could be a blessing to them. Then let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts, any questions, any things you don't agree with maybe. Let me know in the comments and then we can get into a conversation there. And if there are any other videos you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. All right, I'll leave you to it. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.